How's it going, everyone? Today we'll be playing this Rocket Aggression deck against the Drang scenario on Heroic difficulty. I guess it's the Brotherhood of Badoon is the name of the scenario, but it's against the Drang villain. And this is the beginning of the end here. I am wrapping up my Heroic challenge, in which I've been trying to beat every scenario in the game on Heroic difficulty using a different hero. I've left all of the scenarios in Galaxy's Most Wanted for last. So this will make a very thrilling climax to the challenge, as this wave includes 3 of possibly just the hardest scenarios in the game, maybe 3 of the top 5, you could certainly say, in Collector 1, Nebula, and Ronin, who's easily the top 1. So part of my strategy here was just to wait as long as possible to do these matchups, because then I would just have as many cards released as possible at my disposal in order to build the best possible decks. So you'll see as I go through the matches how true that might have been. But today, this is kind of the calm before the storm. Drang, amidst this wave, which is easily the most difficult wave of scenarios in the game, Drang is actually one of the easiest scenarios in the game, so hopefully we won't have to sweat too much today. But yeah, we'll see how Rocket does here. Rocket is a kind of medium power level, so I think pretty well matched up with Drang. We're using aggression here, which, it's good to get our wins with aggression against scenarios that aren't as difficult. I am trying to balance out the aspects throughout all the games of this challenge, and so aggression is always the hardest one for me to find places to win with. But in the Drang scenario specifically, there's a lot of minions. So a lot of the aggression cards that prey off of minions are going to be really optimized here, and of course works really well with Rocket as well. Every time we deal excess damage to an enemy, draw a card. So hopefully we get a bunch of small minions, so to take advantage of being engaged with minions with our aggression cards, overkill them to draw cards, and should all come together here to make a pretty satisfying match. Not anything like super interesting in a macro sense going on with the deck build. Rocket really kind of has his own thing going on with the tech cards. What I have added that's relatively new for this deck is Air Cover, 2 copies of Air Cover with 1 copy of Suppressing Fire. Air Cover gives us 2 counters that whenever we engage a minion, we can spend one of those counters to draw up a tactic upgrade. So we can go get Suppressing Fire, which says when you attack and defeat attached minion, heal 2 damage from your hero. So it basically turns both air covers into like 2 ER for healing 4, which is a pretty fair rate. Rocket comes with only 9 HP. Drang actually has a fairly large attack stat. Even in stage 2, he has an attack stat of 3. So we don't want to take too many attacks from him, or if we do, we want to heal it back pretty quickly. So air cover is kind of the mild amount of spice we have. But the rest are basically staples. We've got 8 allies here. I haven't gone super hardcore with just the best allies in the game. We don't have Nick in this one. We don't have Mockingbird or Professor X. I've gone a little heavier into the Guardians. I've still got Psylocke because the confusing is just so incredible. I've got Sunfire in order to discard Drang's Spear, which he starts the game with. But the other 6 allies that we've got are all Guardians, so we can get some value out of nowhere. And even this is honestly a little bit light on the allies compared to what I often do, but there's a lot of other stuff I wanted to put in the deck here. 3 copies of Bring It, just a no-brainer in a scenario with so many minions. Chase them down, same thing, right? It's very efficient threat removal, as efficient as it gets for aggression. Ingenuity, great resource generator since we are a genius in alter ego form. And I should shout out here Winning Hand for supplying these alternate art cards, which you've seen in many of my videos now if you've been watching me for a while, that I got from the Con of Heroes, but pretty sweet Rocket one here. Hall of Heroes, right, again, just preying on the minions. Lock and Load, staple card for Rocket being able to get Particle Cannon or Rocket Launcher out pretty efficiently. And then last little small bit of spice is Flora and Fauna, just in case we're able to stick Groot in play. Then Flora and Fauna is nice, being able to place 2 charge counters on a Rocket upgrade and ready it. Essentially makes this like 2 ER for 8 damage. So really incredible. So see if we can stick Groot out early on and try to take advantage of Flora and Fauna. So pretty straightforward. I mean, a lot of the strategy is just dictated by Rocket himself, not necessarily what I've done with the deck here, but use up our techs, get them to 0 counters, so that we can draw off of the Tinkering ability and get these big hands as we flip up to hero form. Hopefully kill some more minions and keep drawing cards and let the resources flow and play all of our good efficient resource generators and allies and weapons. And like I said, yeah, it does match up very well against the Drang scenario here. Wouldn't be crazy to bring this in against a different scenario. I mean, it's fairly generic just as far as Rocket is concerned, but the extent to which I'm really targeting minions is, maybe something you wouldn't do outside of a minion-heavy scenario like Drang. All right, that's what we've got with the deck list. Let's break down the Drang scenario. Let's talk about the Drang, or Brotherhood of Badoon scenario here, just in case you're less familiar, or if you want to get some strategy tips for your own games. So one of the defining things in this scenario is we start the game with the Badoon ship environment in play. This will charge up via this charge up special ability throughout the game, which places 1 barrage counter here. Then if there are 4 or more barrage counters here, deal 2 indirect damage to each player and remove all barrage counters from here. So these will get added every time that we resolve step 1 of the villain phase. In Drang Stage 2, we'll resolve it every time that Drang schemes. In Stage 3, every time that Drang activates. And then there's a handful of ways among Drang's encounter cards that we also might do it, such as the Badoon Engineer. After the Badoon Engineer engages you or activates against you, resolve the charge up ability. Side scheme here, which will make it trigger an additional time after resolving step 1 of the villain phase. So it's just going to represent some more damage that you have to contend with throughout the game. I think we're decently equipped to deal with this. We've got the air cover suppressing fire package, and Schadenfreude is a very good healing card as well. But that's something to keep in mind, and that'll be happening a lot throughout the scenario. We've got 2 main schemes here, 2 8-threat main schemes, so we're mildly safe from advances, at least compared to single scheme scenarios. We might get advanced once off the main scheme, and then we'll go to main scheme 2. Both main schemes tell us, as we said, after resolving step 1, resolve charge up. They also have an ability that lets us exhaust the Milano, which we'll talk about in just a sec, to remove 3 threat from this scheme. Drang himself doesn't do anything else scary, although he will start the game with this spear in play, which gives him +1 attack and stalwart. Kind of expensive 3 actions to discard, so you saw we have Sunfire in the deck, which can discard it for only a single resource, which will be a very efficient play. And because Drang will start the game with this in play, we're guaranteed to get that value from Sunfire at some point if we just leave the spear on him until that point. A few more side schemes in the scenario encounter set, as well as 2 of these Badoon Engineers. We've got one optional modular set, which is just Band of Badoon. I'm using which is the recommended one, and it just comes with 10 minions. So that's just perfect for Rocket. A lot of them are very low health minions as well, 2 health, 1 health. So very easy to overkill them and start drawing cards with Rocket's hero ability. We've also got the Ship Command modular set, which is required for this scenario, and I'll spend a bit more time on it here because we're going to see it in 4 of the 5 scenarios in Galaxy's Most Wanted. So the first big thing is that we start the game with this Milano support in play, a permanent support that allows us to exhaust to generate a wild resource. There's also certain ways in the encounter set and even on the main scheme here, and on these side schemes where we can exhaust it to remove 3 threat from these side schemes or cancel some of these encounter cards. So Ship Command is a modular set that literally helps you if it's included in the game, because we start with this in play, so it's just like literally a free resource generator in play, and it's not like the rest of the modular set is so bad that it offsets that at all. So Ship Command, actively helps us in all of these scenarios. I'll go through the cards here one by one. A couple cards here, Power Siphon and Blindside. They give us 3 different options, one of which is just exhausting the Milano. So if you think about it over 1 turn cycle, that makes that a complete whiff of an encounter card, because yes, the modular set gave us the free Milano, but then we exhausted it. but that, right, that's, you know, that just is like essentially canceling that encounter card being drawn entirely. Special Delivery, this is an extra activation, but we can exhaust the Milano to negate it. So very often going to be worth it, right? It's basically spending one resource to negate an activation, or just to negate an entire encounter card once again. Hull Breach, okay, I guess I had these a little out of order. Hull Breach, Blindside, Power Siphon, they're all in the same format where it's 3 different options, one of which is always to exhaust the Milano, which, you know, is generally going to be the safest one, but there's times when we might choose other options. Cannonade, a pretty inconsequential side scheme here. Comes in with 4 threat, has that ability where we can exhaust the Milano to remove threat, but just to amplify, which, right, is a relatively workaroundable icon from stunning, confusing, and ally blocking and such. And then lastly, the Rogue Vessel. This one is pretty annoying because it's got Surge, but all it does is deals 1 damage to us at the end of every villain phase. So, like, yeah, it's annoying. I mean, it's obviously strictly worse than just any other card because of the Surge, but yeah, we have to exhaust the Milano and spend 2 resources to discard it. So might not even be worth doing that. I mean, that's 3 resources versus just taking 1 damage every turn. Like, that might just be okay, but obviously the Surge is annoying. So, right, Milano overall just helps us because of that support that starts in play. 4 of the encounter cards just get completely canceled by exhausting the Milano. The side scheme is not that bad, and then Rogue Vessel is bad, but hey, it's just 1 card. What can you do? Balanced out by, like, getting the Milano resource every turn. So, like we said, pretty minion dense. 10 minions from Band of Badoon, 2 from Drang itself. Only 5 other cards in the Drang set, and only 5 other non-surge cards in Ship Command. So really a high ratio of, or high fraction of minions in this deck. Again, making it a perfect matchup for Rocket. So if you were to try to target Drang, right, any way to prey on having all these minions is definitely one way to go with it. And then maybe just be a little bit more survivable than you might think. Drang's got an attack of 3, as well as the Badoon ship dealing you some indirect damage throughout the game. So some way to, mitigate that or be able to recover that back is a way you'd want to hedge against Drang as well. But overall, right, he's just not that difficult. There's no really setup pressure besides the spear. And then the Milano straight up helps you. So not terribly difficult overall, but pretty fun, to be honest. I mean, he's got a few interesting things going on, some cool looking cards and unique cards. Maybe I just haven't played Guardians enough in a while, so I'm excited for this matchup. But that's what we've got. So we've talked about the deck, talked about the scenario. Let's dive into the game. Starting things off, we've set the Badoon ship environment and the Milano support in play. Nothing further on main scheme 1 for now. Starts with 2 threat. And as a reminder, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. As a first player action, exhaust the Milano to remove 3 threat from this scheme. Then we've also done Drang's when revealed. If Drang's Spear is in play, give him a face down boost. Otherwise, search up Drang's Spear, reveal it, and shuffle the encounter deck. So there's Drang's Spear, currently granting him Stalwart and +1 attack. And we're ready to go. So priorities for turn 1, assuming we want to go to hero form, definitely want a blocker. Sunfire might just be the best card to see. Lets us discard the spear and could block right away. Yeah, probably just in Rocket's case, since we're starting pretty low, really just a blocker is what we want to see, but we'll take however much setup stuff we can get beyond that. All right, let's take a look at the opening hand and think about it as I shuffle the encounter deck. Ingenuity is a really strong card to see in the opening hand. That is almost certainly a keep. Cybernetic Skeleton would give some hit points, which would be nice, but I'd rather just dig to try to find an ally. We've got Angela, but she's going to give us a minion right away as well, which I don't know if we're quite ready for that yet. So there's a chance I keep her just to make sure I have a blocker. I mean, most minions are pretty small, right? So might not be that bad. Actually, yeah, let's keep Angela. Might play a different ally if I can, but we'll just keep her for now. And then the rest, I think we just mulligan to look for double resources. Or like lock and load would be incredible on turn 1. Okay. Nice selection of stuff here. Let's pay 2 for ingenuity while we are a genius. Flip to hero form. Or wait, is there... I don't remember the exact text of some of the minions. I think some of the minions might like quick strike, so maybe I'll play Angela before going to hero form. Seems wise. Play Angela. Search the top 10 cards of the library for a minion. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so a couple of grunts. Badoon Engineer and Badoon Warlord. So this is just 4 health, but nothing else. Badoon Engineer. After Badoon Engineer engages you or activates against you, we have to resolve charge up. And then Badoon Grunt is the smallest, but after he engages you, if there are no other minions engaged with you, deal yourself a face down encounter card. So I don't think we can pick the Grunt. Yeah, the Badoon Engineer can get taken out by the Particle Cannon, or just by Groot plus Angela. It does actually feel good to play Groot this turn. So we'll just go for the Warlord. Yeah. Since I'm not really poised to take advantage of the Murdered You ability. Go to hero form. So we'll exhaust the Milano to do the first player action on the main scheme, remove 3 threat from this scheme. So we'll remove the 2 that are there. And then just think a second longer about playing Groot versus Particle Cannon. I think a Groot is just good here, especially if we draw like, or get him ready for when we draw Flora and Fauna, perhaps. So pay 3 for Groot. Groot and Angela will attack the Warlord to take it out. Rocket will just attack for 1, nothing else to do. And end the turn. I don't think Groot can, well no, certainly can't block this attack quite yet. Two threat on the main scheme in step 1. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, resolve charge up, 1 counter on the Badoon ship. Drang's going to attack. In theory, I could take 1 attack at not too much cost. Might be some unnecessary risk. But Angela and Groot still have activations left. I'm going to take... it gets kind of dicey with the Badoon ship as well. I hope I draw some minions this turn. I'm going to let Drang hit me for this one. 4 plus a boost of 2. I'll take 6, down to 3. 2 encounter cards. Just reminding myself here, after he schemes, we resolve charge up, but not after he attacks. So Badoon Engineer, after he engages you or activates against you, resolve charge up. So that'll go up to 2. Special Delivery, you may exhaust the Milano. If you do not, the villain attacks. Easy exhaust the Milano there. Okay, well, let's just play one Bring It to redraw, because I'm not going to have an efficient turn if I don't. Might get something a little better to do. Bring It to draw. Bug is actually really nice, except that I'm full on allies. Otherwise I could play Bug and Martin X. So I maybe just play Psylocke. I don't have a physical resource to just discard the spear normally. Oh, can I overkill? Nope, can't overkill the engineer. So in that case, I probably just get Psylocke ready. Won't be doing much in the short term. But not really anything else to do. And in terms of keeping a card in hand, I think I'll keep none. Maybe the Bring It. But Bring It's only really worth it if I were to draw 2 minions. So I think I'll just spend everything. Pay 4 for Psylocke. 2 counters. Groot. I could like confuse the Badoon. Here we go. Okay. Instead of spending the Bring It, I'm going to spend the Ingenuity. And now Psylocke could confuse the Badoon Engineer. Primes it up for Bring It and Murder to you at some point. It obviously wastes one of her counters. Would be really nice to hit Drang. But might be a little bit too cute. No, okay. I'm talking myself down off of it. At some point we're going to draw Sunfire. Okay. Yeah, Psylocke's it's just too good. Okay, so Groot and Angela will attack the Badoon Engineer. Taking it out. Now I maybe actually have Psylocke thwart the main scheme. So I want to recover with myself. There's some ways to get automatic damage. Sure, let's have Psylocke thwart for 2. Yeah, because I just really want to recover. So flip down, recover for 3. And I'll just discard the Bring It end of turn. Relatively unlikely that we would draw 2 minions. Without doing the math, I would guess it's more likely we would draw 0 than 2, in which case it's correct to discard the Bring It. So 2 threat in step 1. Do the charge up. Drang schemes for 2 plus a boost of 0. After Drang schemes, resolve charge up, so this will go up to 4. So then if there are 4 or more barrage counters, deal 2 indirect damage to each player and remove all barrage counters from here. So I will just take both myself down to 4. Then we've got 2 encounter cards. Power Siphon. I think I'll just exhaust the Milano. If I discard a card at random, I could hit Sunfire, which would be make me pretty sad. Card number 2, Caught Off Guard. Ooh, well, I don't love that, but yeah, Ingenuity is the only option here. But all things considered, I mean, we're still looking totally fine. All right, so pretty straightforward turn. I do have to use up an ally somehow. Rocket will recover for 3. We'll have Angela attack for 2, which will take her out. Pay 1 for Thruster Boots. Pay 2 for Sunfire, discarding an energy resource from hand to discard Drang Spear. And in fact, could make an argument for staying in Alter Ego form here. We've seen 1 advance already, we've seen Special Delivery. If we do get hit with advance, we probably do go to the next scheme, because this will be at 6. I could maybe thwart it for 1 with Groot. Another advance would definitely pop it. I don't think it's quite worth it here. I've got blockers ready as well. So we'll flip up. Psylocke attacks. 2 damage. Plus a confusion. Four allies in the discard, so there's 1 left in deck. Should be Throg. Let's just have Groot thwart for 1 on the main scheme. And he'll probably block right away. Would like to keep him around for Flora and Fauna, but we don't even have a tech to charge up right now. So we'll plan to block first with Groot. Two on the main scheme up to 5. Charge up. Drang attacks, Groot blocks. Takes 3 plus a boost of 1 plus give the villain a tough status card. If the villain already has a tough status card, it gets plus 2. So Groot takes a lot of damage. Two encounter cards. Badoon Grunt. Since it's the only minion engaged, we get another face down encounter card. Another Badoon Grunt. Very lucky here, because now we do have multiple engaged, so it won't give me another one. And then Shadow of the Past. So I really wish I had to bring it now. But we've got Blackjack O'Hare, Vendetta, which is just a 2 threat. Then shuffling in a couple cards that just give us more minions or plus attack. So blackjack's going to attack. Probably just have to take it. Yeah, I'll just take this one. All right, take it for 1, plus a boost of 2, plus the amplify, so it's 4 damage. Down to 3. Okay, I want to try to overkill one of these, because then I can play both pistols. Yeah, that's not that hard to do. Pay 1 for Rocket's pistol. Sunfire attacks Blackjack for 2. Rocket's pistol hits it for 2 more. So that overkills it by 1, so we'll draw a card. Oh, wow, what a draw. I guess, well, okay, it's actually not that crazy. But I could put a tech upgrade from my discard back on top. I've got the rocket launcher or the particle cannon. Could be, I mean, I was planning to play this pistol this turn, which means I don't have a restricted slot open. What about, I could just get the cybernetic skeleton though. That could be nice to play next turn. So let's spend salvage for Throg. After we spend this, put a tech upgrade from your discard pile on top of your deck. So put that skeleton on top. He'll come in and get a tough. If I had kept air cover, well, if I had kept air cover in hand, I could potentially play air cover and the pistol. But actually, no, this actually works out really well, because I can use the Milano for the main scheme. So pay 1 for the other pistol. Pistol, one of the grunts. First player action on the main scheme to remove 3 threat. I think I should just have Rocket clear Vendetta as opposed to recovering. Yep. We'll thwart down Vendetta. Throg will attack and take out the Badoon Grunt. Hurts to use a tough like that, but I didn't have another way to guarantee killing it. I'm going to flip down. Possibly discard a pistol. At the start of next turn, we've got Drang confused. And overall, just doing well, so feels pretty safe. Two threat up to 4. Charge up to 2. Drang confused. Under fire. Under fire number 1, Badoon Sentry. It's just a big one, nothing immediately happens. Under fire number 2, Spatial Positioning. Has a Milano action, exhaust the Milano to remove 3 threat from there. Then Planetary Invasion, discard from the top until we get a minion. Reveal that minion, then give it a tough status card. So Badoon Assassin. Oh, okay, I forgot about this guy. But so after Badoon Assassin engages you, it attacks you with +2 attack. So that would kill me, so let's have Sunfire. Or no, sorry, after Badoon Assassin engages your hero. Okay, so we are not our hero, so very lucky there. And then back to our turn. All right, let's discard a pistol here. And draw 2 cards with Tinkering. Holy cow. Get a lot of things set up here. Have to recover. We're just getting low. Wish I didn't see all my allies quite so early. I've got to make these last in terms of blocking for myself. Pay 2 for Cybernetic Skeleton. +3 hit points, +1 attack. And I've covered it up now, but we have +1 attack and +1 thwart. Boop. I guess air cover can start doing me some healing as well. Okay, maybe I don't need to, so if I don't recover, I can thwart and clear a lock and load, which is kind of crazy. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna take back my recover. I'll still play this. Haven't gotten any new information since I did that, so. Let's go to hero form. Pay 1 for lock and load. Let's thwart it down. So we search up a weapon upgrade with cost 3 or less. So I can either get particle cannon or rocket launcher are the obvious choices. Rocket launcher is really good right now. Although particle cannon would make sure I kill this one. Now let's get the rocket launcher. I like how much it does for me right now. Throg attacks the tough off of the Badoon Assassin. I could give up Sunfire in order to overkill this guy. Well, I can actually draw first and then think about it more. So we'll rocket launcher. So 2 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with me. So tough off Drang. 2 damage here, which is an overkill. 2 damage here. draw from Rocket's ability. Oh, it's kind of an interesting draw. I think I'm still in the window. After you deal excess damage to an enemy, draw one card. That's a response to doing that. I think I still have a window here to play Chase Them Down. So we'll chase them down on the main scheme. Okay, so I think I'm just going to leave this guy alive. This is not an attack for what it's worth, so no retaliate consideration on the Badoon Sentry. Oh, I should have thought more about playing Hall of Heroes first, but I might just be correct to play Nowhere instead. Nowhere is more steady guaranteed value versus big bursts with Hall of Heroes. Let's just pay 2 for Nowhere. Pay 1 for air cover. Milano to remove 3 threat from spatial positioning. We'll still pistol this guy for 2. And for some reason this does not have ranged, so we'll take 1 retaliate. Maybe I'm not as safe as I thought. I mean, I've got plenty of blockers for attacks. This should only happen to me once, so should be fine. And then I think I save Psylocke. I think my health is under greater pressure than the main scheme. So I won't block with her if I don't have to, but I'm not just gonna rip off a Confusion right now either. Okay, we draw through the rest of the deck. Get an encounter card. Pretty bad hand there. Hope we draw something good with this last card. We'll get some extra draws, potentially with overkilling stuff, though. And especially if I flip down with Tinkering. Bug, okay, that's something to do. 2 threat on the main scheme up to 4. Charge up. Drang attacks. Let's do Sunfire block. Really doesn't matter. Attack comes in, 3 plus boost of 2. Badoon Sentry attacks for 1. I'm down to 4. 2 encounter cards for a total of 3. Oppressive Armada. 4 threat hazard icon. Again, we can thwart it for 3 using the Milano. Assault. Let's have Throg block this one. 3 plus a boost of 0. Second advance gone, notably. How about a minion? Oh, jeez. Well, yep. Psylocke will block Drang's attack. Okay, very close to dead there. As a boost ability, resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. So that'll put it up to 4. We'll take 2 indirect damage down to 2. Psylocke's taken out. Badoon Sentry attacks me for 1 more, down to 1. All right, very exciting. Very validated for not attacking with Psylocke there. But let's see what we can do here. We'll go Rocket's Pistol to deal 2 to the Badoon Sentry, overkilling. And draw a card. pretty clearly just need to recover here. Oh, I guess, oh, hold on. Yeah, I can salvage. No, I have nothing to salvage yet. But at least to make an efficient turn, I could salvage rocket launcher or just pistol back on top. Well, I'll play this double, the non-salvage double for bug, nowhere to draw a card. Oh, and that's a fantastic card. Oh, am I? Oh, I just literally didn't see I had this chase them down in hand. Yeah, shoot. I would have definitely played that, but it's definitely too late now because I've drawn a card. All right, but we still got some thwarting here. So we will make a basic thwart on the main scheme. Pay 1 for I've got a plan. After you make, okay, so our thwart is for 3 because we're buffed by the thruster boots. After you make a basic thwart, ready rocket, he gets +1 thwart until the end of the phase, which I'm not going to make use of because I'm going to recover, but basically 2 ER for 3 threat there, so that's very good. Bug will thwart Oppressive Armada for 1. We'll do the first player action to exhaust the Milano to remove it. Flip to Alter Ego form. Discard the pistol to draw 2 cards. Ugh. Okay, I messed up my ordering again there. I should have played salvage first. But now I could just keep it as a double in hand for next turn. It's probably better. I'll pay a 1 for the battery pack. Recover for 3. And same as a few turns ago, I think I discard the Bring It here. And I'll discard the Chase Them Down as well, because it's just not as good, and I would like to draw an ally, please. End the turn. Hopefully I do engage a minion, though, so that I can start healing with air cover suppressing fire. Or maybe a Schadenfreude. 2 threat on the main scheme, up to 3. Charge up. Drang schemes for 2, plus a boost of 2. Equals 4. Main scheme is up to 7. Charge up. 2 encounter cards. Badoon Warlord, nice. We will air cover to search up our copy of Suppressing Fire and put it to hand. Second card, Crisis on Half-World. Either exhaust to remove from the game or discard the highest cost upgrade you control, which would be the rocket launcher, which I don't totally need. Exhausting stops me from recovering. Gotta look at my hand again. I mean, the hand's not doing much here. If I did do Schadenfreude, I've got maybe 1 attack with the rocket launcher, so probably not. We'll just exhaust. No, you know what? I actually just don't think that's right. Because life matters more right now. we'll discard the rocket launcher. So that just discards the obligation rather than removing it from the game. All right, I'm inclined to put that back on top though. Thinking about what I'm going to discard. Don't have a great hand to overkill this warlord, but I really need to draw that card. I mean, the only thing I can actually play right now is the air cover, which is a bit redundant because I've already got one. Okay, I'm not gonna get it on top. I'm gonna try to draw maybe the particle cannon would be fantastic. And yeah, I'll just discard the battery pack, I think. Feels bad I've been discarding stuff with counters left, but I think it's better than discarding the boots. I'll discard the battery pack, draw 2 cards, looking for allies. Okay, well, pistol at least lets me kill the warlord, but not really overkill. Okay, I just conducted this terribly here. I should have gotten the rocket launcher, and then Schadenfreude would actually heal me for quite a bit. I didn't consider that would damage 2 enemies. Okay, well, just play what we've got. Yeah, I think I'm not going to recover then, because doing an attack is effectively healing for 2. Salvage for Schadenfreude. Until the end of the turn, heal 2 damage each time you deal any amount of damage to an enemy. By spending salvage, we'll put rocket launcher on top. Put suppressing fire on Badoon Warlord. Pay... I don't think I'm double reloading. Pay 1 for Rocket's pistol. So here's what I want. Let's have Rocket attack Badoon Warlord for 2. Buffed because we've got the skeleton. Schadenfreude, heal 2. Heal Bug for 1 after we do a basic attack. Bug attacks the Badoon Warlord for 1. We do not heal from Schadenfreude. Yep. But now Rocket's pistol will overkill the Badoon Warlord. So that's damage, so we'll heal 2. Suppressing fire will heal 2. I don't know why I was so torn about recovering, because I've just had so much healing here. Draw from Murdered You. $3 for rocket launcher. Overpay here with a double for air cover. Could do rocket launcher right now just to heal up to max. Bit of a waste, it would feel like. We'll do the main scheme first player action to remove 3 threat. I think it's worth healing 2. Rocket launcher, 2 damage to Drang, heal 2. Our max is 12 because of the skeleton. We'll end the turn. Not sure there's any extra attacks in this deck pass though, but I don't know, just feels good to be healthy. Alright, now we got the gas. The gas is back. 2 threat on the main scheme up to 6. Charge up to 3. Drang attacks, bug blocks, 3 plus no boost ability. 2 encounter cards. Planetary Evasion, that's the discard one. Small deck, we could be out of minions. Badoon Assassin comes in, gets a tough, and attacks us for 3. So I'll just take that 3, down to 9. Card number 2, Badoon Lieutenant. Okay, he's got Patrol and 6 health. Alright, well that rocket launcher looks really nice this turn. Got a pistol or a battery pack to put back in the deck with salvage. Don't think... Actually, I guess I should... Yeah, I guess we count here, okay. See if there's a minion left in the deck. 1, 2... Okay, I'm probably don't have on recall how many minions are in Drang's set. I know we've got 10 in Band of Badoon. Oh, there might be one left, because this is 2 in play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unless one of these is not a, unless one of the Band of Badoon cards is not a minion that I'm just forgetting about. All right, yeah, I'll play Angela. Play Angela, search the deck. Plus we'll just see what's coming. Ah yes, Badoon Grunt is literally perfect. Alright, obviously we've got other minions, so nothing extra needs to happen. Exhaustion, a couple side schemes, and a master plan. Oh, I've been negligent here. I guess I get to bail myself out here. We'll pop air cover. Actually, probably don't want air cover back in the deck. Let's pop this air cover. Get suppressing fire off of this that we've just engaged. Should have done that during the villain phase, of course, but we got it now. Okay, just, all right, reading this again. When you attack and defeat attached minion. So I've got to be careful there, because I think I defeated it with a pistol, which is labeled an attack, but if I defeat it with a rocket launcher, that is not considered an attack. So I might actually put it on the Badoon Lieutenant, who I can actually attack. After playing Angela, I'll know where to draw. Woo! Particle Cannon. I am currently at full restricted slots. Probably play it in Alter Ego anyways. So let's do Angela attacks the tough off Badoon Assassin. Rocket Launcher. 2 damage to Drang. 2 damage on the Lieutenant. We kill both of these, including overkilling the Assassin, so we'll draw. Bring it just a little too late. I think I'll still play it though. Let's just cycle a card. Chase them down. That's actually a good draw. Okay, so put Suppressing Fire on Badoon Lieutenant. Rocket's Pistol, hit it for 2. Rocket attacks it for 2 to finish it off. Didn't really have a way to overkill it that I can see, except for maybe using the Particle Cannon, which I want to save. So 4 more damage there to take it out. Suppressing Fire heals for 2. Let's chase them down. 2 threat off the main scheme. Maybe I end up just putting Particle Cannon on top for next turn. No, because I'm gonna get the discard. Flip down. Discard Rocket Launcher to draw 2. I guess I can get a battery pack back. Pay salvage. Getting Ingenuity, or sorry, getting a battery pack back to play Ingenuity. I haven't totally been planning out my whole turn here, just I want to do the Milano action to remove 3 threat off the main scheme. Especially because we know there's schemes coming, so thwarting is necessary. Do I have an event left in the deck? 1 bring it, 2 bring it. Yes, there's a bring it left in the deck, so that makes everything work pretty well. No, sorry. Well, I could play Gamora plus Hall of Heroes, but I'd rather just play the Particle Cannon. Ingenuity plus 2. Actually, You've Got a Plan is going to be a good hold for next turn. Ingenuity plus 2 for Particle Cannon. I'll hold these for next turn and end the turn. Just barely draw through the deck. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you've got a plan's gonna go crazy here. We're gonna be pretty close to just winning here too. Especially if I had some reloads. All right, 2 on the main scheme up to 3. Charge up to 4. Pop it. Take it both onto rocket. Drang schemes for 2 plus a boost of 1 for 3. After he schemes, we'll charge it up again. 2 encounter cards. It does give us the last of the deck, so we know we've got exhaustion, side scheme, plus something I forgot. Yep, cannonade, there's exhaustion. Oh, master plan, yep. Okay, so we've got cannonade, exhaustion, surges into crisis on half-world. Yikes. All right, got to discard the particle cannon. And then master plan adds 4 threat to cannonade. Oh, I guess you've got a plan actually isn't very good here because I cannot start by making a basic thwart. So that got pretty awkward. Let's discard the pistol, draw 2. Terrible draws. But I guess I didn't really need them to be anything special. Flip to hero form. Pay 1, 2, 3 for Gamora. Nowhere to draw. Pay 2 for Martin X. Ingenuity for 1 battery pack. Bring it for another battery pack. Yeah, we're just gonna probably just deal with cannonade the rest of the game. Milano, 3 threat off the main. Do Martin X thwart for 1. Angela, attack for 2. Save Gamora until I'm ready to use the resource that comes out of her. And end the turn. Discarding the particle cannon, pretty awkward there, especially with all these battery packs. All right, sadly drew the suppressing fire, so I won't get any air cover value. Maybe that's something I should have thought of. Maybe play a second suppressing fire for that reason. 3 threat on the main scheme, step 1, charge it up. Drang attacks, Angela blocks, takes a whole lot of damage. 7 damage. 2 encounter cards, Assault, relatively healthy, but let's just have Martin X block. We've still got the Amplify out. 3 plus a boost of 2, so it would have been 6 damage. Yeah, that's a good block. Power Siphon. Okay, I'd like to keep my cards, so let's just exhaust. The Milano represents a lot of threat removal. But so does I've Got a Plan. We'll just exhaust the Milano. Okie dokie. One. Sequencing. All right, Gamora. Attack for 2. Well, is there a way I can save that? No, not really. Gamora attack for 2. Discard till we get an event. Flora and Fauna. Rocket's thing is just after you deal excess damage to an enemy, so that'll count on this stage as well. Do I thwart first? Yeah, I guess so. We'll thwart the main scheme for 3. Pay 1. 2. I've Got a Plan. To be ready. Attack Drang for 2. Overkilling this stage, so we'll draw a card. Reveal stage 3, which has 18 hit points. Discard the top 4 cards of the encounter deck. Each time a minion is discarded this way, put it into play, engaged with the player who is engaged with the fewest minions. Wow, 3 side schemes. Okay. So we got 1 Badoon Lieutenant. If I was smarter, I would have spent the Suppressing Fire to play I've Got a Plan. So very, very unpolished game you're seeing from me, so sorry for that. But shouldn't be affecting my win expectancy too much. And I'm actually not sure I can take that guy out this turn. Let's bring it to cycle. Pay 2. No, let's pay smartly. Pay 2 for Bug. Nowhere to draw. Pay 3 for Rocket Launcher. Put Suppressing Fire on here. Still won't be able to draw it, but just use it up from the hand. Activate the Rocket Launcher. 2 damage to the Lieutenant, 2 damage to Drang. No rush to like use up the battery packs. Maybe I'll do 1. Maybe sets it up to discard it next turn. 1 battery pack onto the rocket launcher. Okay, we got the Schadenfreude, so maybe I could let myself take some damage. Can't do too much though, because Drang's still attacking for 3. 3 threat on the main scheme, step 1. Charge up. Drang attacks. Oh, sorry, Bug didn't do anything. I would have... Well, I was preparing to block with Bug. I would have attacked the... Cause I deal so many increments of 2. I think I would have attacked the Badoon Lieutenant for 1. and thwarting for one on the main scheme wouldn't stop in advance, so apologize for going back and doing that, but I think that's very clearly what I would have done. Drang attacks, bug blocks, takes a lot of damage. Lieutenant attacks for 2. Oh, and also I don't think I could have thwarted because of patrol. Oh, sorry, after Drang activated, I should have popped, because now he's got a new force response just after he activates Resolve Charge Up. So that'll charge up to 4. We'll take 2 indirect damage down to 5. 2 encounter cards. Gang up. Okay, if I get attacked again, I am going to die. So Gamora blocks Drang's attack for a whole lot of damage. Charge up. Lieutenant attacks for 2. Badoon Sentry. I survive. And, okay, I don't think I can win quite yet, though. But, yeah, this is a, well, let's see here. Because I salvage Particle Cannon to the top. I get an overkill. Just don't have enough activations to do it right now. But we'll pay salvage for Schadenfreude. Particle Cannon on top. Rocket launcher. 2 damage to everybody. This is not an attack, so no retaliate from the sentry. Three instances of damage there, so we'll heal for 6, up to 9. Basic attack, Badoon Lieutenant, taking him out with overkill. So heal 2 from suppressing fire, heal up to full from Schadenfreude, draw from Murdered You. And chase them down main scheme. I started in hero form, yeah. So easy flip down decision. But then we'll go 1, 2, 3. Particle Cannon, still only my second restricted thing. Particle Cannon, the Badoon Sentry, taking it out, overkilling 1. Draw from Murdered You. Don't think that's worth playing. Main scheme is basically going to pop, so I guess I'll pay 2 for Sunfire. Attack for 2. Yeah, if I draw 1 boost icon, the main scheme's going to pop even if I Milano it. Flip down. Didn't set myself up to get any tinkering value, but that's okay. End the turn. And, yeah. Go through the deck, counter card. Double advance maybe kills me. You know what? I should have peeked at the next scheme. I actually think I should have stayed in hero form. Because I think I survive. I mean, I'm back to full health now. It was maybe a lingering thought from when I started the turn very low. But I maybe opened myself up to a lost condition here that I didn't need to do. And in fact, I've only drawn 5 cards, so I'm going to, kind of fortuitously, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let myself check the main scheme threshold here. 8, and it starts with 4. Holy cow, what am I doing? Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to not flip down. And, yeah, very lucky. I would be in a moral dilemma if I had drawn my 6th card there. But because I only drew 5, because that's how many were in deck, it kind of works out where, oh no, but I've seen, I've seen my hand. Can I convince you that it's just so obviously correct to stay in hero form that okay, I think you'll allow that. So yeah, it's so obviously correct because I just straight up lose to advance because this will pop when Drang. If I go down to Ultra Ego, this will pop when Drang schemes. I forgot that it starts with 4. So, and I could survive an attack, and we've already seen some of the extra attacks. So, okay, I'm gonna do this. I could find. Okay, probably just gonna leave it. Like the totally fair thing to do would be like find my 5 worst cards in the deck and make that be my hand, as opposed to even just randomly. I've only got 10 damage on board. I'm gonna roll with it. My apologies. I mean, obviously seeing the hand in no way determined which form I wanted to be in, because I would just lose to an advance. So maybe we'll do 1 check here. If I was out of, I don't think I'm out of advances though, no. Okay, so 3 on the main scheme, step 1, charge it up. Drang attacks, Sunfire blocks. Resolve charge up. So we resolve charge up as the boost, we resolve charge up after Drang activates. So we'll take 2 indirect damage down to 10. Sunfire's out. 3 encounter cards. Dune Sentry is fine. Special Delivery will exhaust the Milano to have Drang not attack. And then Blockade. Alright, so that'll come in with 4 threat. But we've trivially got the win here. Pay 3 for Groot. And attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or no, sorry, I was counting, whoops. I was counting Sunfire in that, sorry, rewind. Oh, but especially with the reload. Yep, battery pack here. Battery pack here. 6 damage, reload, 6 damage, take out Drang. Sorry for the sloppy ending, but I mean, basically, like, what would I have had to draw to not be able to win there? Like literally a full and all resource hand, and maybe even then I could have drawn 2 more cards in Alter Ego to maybe and overkill this. No, well, draw 2 more cards in Alter Ego to maybe even draw an ally that could get the win. So sorry about the ending there, but I mean, I was just so likely to win there at the end that it's not like I should have lost, but I kind of, or I didn't use the information of what was in my hand to dictate what my flip did in the slightest. So I'm going to call it good. It's not like Rocket is like, it's not like I hit the 1 in 10 shot to win this matchup. heavily advantaged in this matchup. Ship Command, obviously just a positive modular set, gives us the resource generator early on, which cancels entire encounter cards, removes threat from schemes when we're relatively thwarting light deck. So everything worked pretty well. Glad we got to do the air cover thing a little bit. It's honestly probably just redundant with the Schadenfreude. Like, it's very easy to just heal up to full whenever you do that, but it got us a couple other healing throughout the game. Perfect matchup for Rocket, right? We got these 1 and 3 health minions that we can overkill pretty easily. We overkilled the 1 HP guys a lot. And Drang just, not being too hard. Yeah, we got some indirect damage throughout the game. Yeah, we had to use Sunfire, spent 1 resource to discard the spear, but not too much of a challenge, especially when we got the Milano helping us out so much. Okie dokie. Well, we're 1 for 1 now in attempts kicking off Galaxy's Most Wanted. I certainly don't expect that to maintain as I get into some of the more difficult scenarios here. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you caught any rules mistakes. Fairly likely I missed a charge up somewhere, but I guess we'll see when I watch it back. Thanks for watching. See you next time.